starting a quest to get as low GSP in Smash Ultimate as possible. We've heard on the street that the lower your GSP is, the more weird things start to happen in game. We had to try and convince the game that we were trying really hard while losing every match so that we could avoid a ban. With that though, let's jump into today's video. Our first opponent is a Pichu player named Mark. We're gonna need to do a lot of falling with style to lose these games. When we see Mark throwing us vegetables, trying to feed us, you're gonna see a lot of stupid up B recovery moves.
To infinity.
And beyond! And beyond!
And running straight into grabs. And with that, we're already down a couple 100,000 points. Then, we were faced with a Fox player named CJ. Now, you don't know how hard it was to make myself lose to this guy, because I have a coworker in my office named CJ. I always want to beat him in Smash. Sometimes I just had to grab him to make sure he knew who was boss. But, in the end, my quest was more important than my pride. And we were on to the next battle. Oh, Josu is looking clean in that Mario wedding outfit. But, kinda sucked, so I had to do some really obvious SDs. Now you're throwing water on me. Is it a baptism? Is it a wedding? But he did get a pretty good up B off the top to finish off that game. I guess it wasn't a white wedding after all. Already almost 1 million GSP below where we started, and we came face to face with Dome.
I'm fastest, boy.
This is where we started to learn about the noob language. You see, the subtle movements indicate speech to these noobs. Truly remarkable creatures. Look at the way they return fire. Sometimes, the language barrier was all we had to worry about. And sometimes, it was the up grabs. But we must go further. We decided to see how many noobs really understood this, or if it was just Dome. We tried a cloud player out named Corey, who seemed to try pretty hard. What kind of name is Corey anyways? Sorry, Noosuke. Again, I do all these grabs into nothing just to assert a self-level of dominance. Some nice air dodges, but it didn't do the trick. Maybe endless projectiles will be the word. And I'm gone. Next. Now Evan was the homie. He started out speaking to me.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ah yes, a language I could recognize. He probably said, "Hey, I hope we have a great game, nice to meet you."
Nope, 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 nope.
Throughout the rest of the game, we had lots of fun together. And I tried and tried to practice my noob speech a lot. I would need it for my next opponent. So I said, let's die together, Evan. Next up was Ike. His profile picture was of Ike, so I knew that we had an instant bond. But nothing could prepare me for the magic that would come into this match. For a Pokemon so rare, these strong attacks seemed so common, at least with Ike. After a little bit of fun, this happened. Enjoy.
I love you.
I'll carry you in my heart. always, Bara Ike. So as you can see, my GSP is getting really low. We're now in the 200k range, and this is when you start to see some real noobs. I mean, he is playing Little Mac. He seemed a little slow to understand the noob language at first, but he really warmed up to me after some time. I think it had something to do with the pink outfit, you know?
We got one!
But at least he was finally learning the language of love, or at least of noobs. He also got a really good sucker punch on me as I tried to recover. It's so refreshing to see such community in this game, but we need to go lower. The noob hunt continues with this brat. Mitchell had items on. Ugh.
Denied.
This is why I don't usually fight children. I knew that this was getting into uncharted territory. A quick hammer and then smash took out my stocks really quick, and I started to think that maybe I'd gone too low. Maybe even the noob language wasn't known by these awful players. I took a quick break to recenter myself and thought, even with these random rule sets I'd encounter, I'm sure that I could find some more noobs. The next match was a 4-player free-for-all, but I was committed to finding others to communicate with me. Watch as I dedicate myself to the language. The other 3 weren't as receptive to that language, but they learned. I soon realized that with all of them here, I couldn't control them all. Zero got KO'd, and Jeremy stood on the sidelines trying to be a tryhard, while I formed a bond with my optic.
Tactical nuke incoming!
I got that fool out of here. Where Bara Ike was my romance story, this is the true story of my bromance. Look at us, blissful youth, waiting for the world to show us how cruel it could be. Enjoy it while it lasts, everyone. Sadly, I had to have awful DI to lose the match. And man, it was awful. My GSP went up? Nay, my journey must continue. These noobs must be documented. So we joined another match against Hiya! So adorable, so sweet, so bad. But it's okay, for I was worse. I tried hard to communicate with this Pichu, and when I held that up smash and Pichu looked at me with that cute face, I knew we connected. Why won't you speak to me, Pichu? But then, he did it. Pichu became my friend. Next was Jeremy, odd way to spell that one, who honestly did not get what was going on at all. I mean, he just started shooting a gun at me. But then, he walked straight into my neutral B. Then, he had an even worse recovery than all the poor ones I've done. And he lost!
Your skills were remarkable.
So while we didn't get a GSP of 1, we did reach my personal all-time low. And not only that, we made some great friends and some even better memories. Is there more to this noob tribe that we don't know yet? Is every single Jeremy a jerk? I guess we'll find out in due time. But for now, that's gonna do it for today's Smash video. If you enjoyed, thanks for leaving a like, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time on dotZiP.